While following the big announcement by Prime Minister Mia Motley that there would in fact be a crop over this year, there have been intense consultations with stakeholders, including band leaders, tent managers and event promoters. And it appears they've reached a consensus on the format of this year's festival, although officials say they will press brakes if the situation changes, as they acknowledged rising COVID-19 cases in some countries. So, here's what's been agreed on. Chief Cultural Officer Andrea Wells says 4-Day Morning will be held on July 30th at 4 different locations across the island, while Grand Kadooment will be held at 2 locations.
For 4-Day Morning, the proposed jump-up routes would be from Searles to Ball Park, in and around Bushy Park, parade at the Botanical Gardens, or a parade at the Farley Hill Checker Hall, from Farley Hill to Checker Hall. And groups unregistering for participation will obviously select their preferred site, and the NCF will manage in terms of numbers so that obviously when there's enough bands for a particular site, the second site would become their option. For Grand Kadooment, there are 2 choices for parade of bands. One would be assembly at Warren's and parading along the ABC Highway to Norman Niles roundabout, turn at Norman Niles, and then make their way back down the highway to the Botanical Gardens. The second option for the parade would be from Bushy Park, starting, I believe, at Windward Cricket Grounds.
Now, Ms. Wells also revealed there will be no competition element for bands this year, but there will be subventions of $10,000 for Kadooment bands and $3,000 for those on the road for 4-Day Morning.
Government has agreed that a subvention of $10,000 would also be provided for all registered and qualifying Grand Kadooment bands, and for the first time ever, a subvention for 4-Day Morning bands. No new bands will be accommodated this year, so only veteran bands who have a long track record of participating at this event at Cropover will be accommodated.
For those wondering about the big competitions, Minister in the Prime Minister's office, Dr. Chantal Monroe-Knight, has confirmed there will be a Picardy Crop Finals. The July 29th competition will revert to the 2019 format, and the top prize will be $100,000 or a fully loaded electric vehicle, in keeping with government's push to go green. There are also plans for a Soca Monarch concert on Sunday, July 31st, instead of a competition.
We will be having a Picardy Crop Finals. We will be having a People's Choice Soca Monarch that will end in a showcase at Botanical Gardens. So that is modified. Yeah? We will also be hosting a Junior Calypso Monarch, but again with a modification. It will now be community-based, and at the end, as I indicated, in a competition of a Junior Calypso Monarch. We will not this year, unfortunately, be having a Kiddies Kadooment band or a parade. However, we will seek to ensure that that craft is not left unattended by ensuring that we build out, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education and Technological and Vocational Training, a program where we seek to develop that art within the schools.
As you just heard, the Soca competition this year will take on a People's Choice element, with the public voting for the top 40 songs and then the top 20.
And each artist who's successful at achieving a position in the top 20 will receive a cash incentive of $1,000. The top 20 songs or artists will be featured live at a concert at Kensington Oval, and all of them will be paid a performance fee of $4,000. The concert, and this will be a new initiative this year, will be streamed to popular sites, not only across the diaspora, but to Africa, promoting the artist's material in both established and new and potentially very lucrative markets.
And of course, it's important to mention the COVID-19 protocols. Patrons will need to either be fully vaccinated or show proof of a negative rapid test taken at least 24 hours prior to the event. That test will be valid for 48 hours, as officials recognize people may want to take in multiple events, especially in the last lap. As it relates to mask wearing and social distancing for revelers, officials say these will be determined by the prevailing protocols at the time, but testing for revelers at 4-Day Morning and Grand Kadooment will be mandatory. Lisa?
Thank you very much for that comprehensive report, Sharika.